There it is, my KSG laid out before us, the parts. I just got it back from my Cerakoted applicator, and today we're putting it back to its one-piece form. As you can see, it's been Cerakoted. The black plastic part's been Cerakoted with armored black, matte black basically. The sheen is gone from the factory molding, and these are titanium, metallic titanium, nicely done. Really smooth. And this is the barrel, along with the barrel extension. And everything else is the original OEM parts, except couple upgrades we're putting on today. That is the FTSS, sorry Mark, solution to innovation switch. We're gonna try to put it on, and we're gonna test it. Once the gun is put back together, we're gonna put this to the test if it's truly functional, and we'll see the ergonomics, what it's advertised to do. So let's get to work. So here we are. Just a reminder, safety first. Don't forget your glasses, safety glasses. I'm wearing mine behind the camera, so I am good. And just a reminder, I'm not by any means a KEL-TEC expert gunsmith. So if you're gonna do this on your own, down to this bare last part, disassemble, it might, I'm gonna warn you right now, it might void your warranty. So take that as it may, and let's get started. And these are the tools we're gonna need for this job. Put this thing together. A couple pins. I believe the 3/32 is the one we're gonna use the most. The hammer, ball peen hammer, or gunsmith hammer. Mine has got a little nylon hammer slide on it, so prevent marring the finish. And let's get started. These are the shell retainers. They're the one holding the shell in place once the shell is inside the tube, either tube. So these are the claws. These are the claws, and they're supposed to hold the shell in the tube and retain it from popping out until you manually press the serrated part right here to manually remove them out of the shell. And so once it's in the gun, let me just show you how it's supposed to orientate. The receiver has to be upside down, and it's just gonna sit right against these two, this triangular setup right here. It's gonna butt up right on the receiver, and the spring will sit right beneath it, like so. And these two claws gonna be sitting side by side, one on the left, one on the right tube, just like so. And the pin that will hold the whole assembly together through these holes right here. And these springs gonna be sitting, or these bars gonna be sitting right on top of the springs right here, putting pressure on the shell retainer. There you go. So it's gonna be sitting right like that, right underneath that little crevice right there. So let's get started. The easy way I found, oh, it is the sliding plate, by the way, for your for this bar. It's gonna be sitting right just like that underneath the barrel, or the magazine tubes. So we're gonna assemble this by putting these first sideways, just like that. just like that. and the other just like that. You'll see as we go along, it'll make sense how they stack up right after another. And then this one orientated in this direction. Oops. And this is supposed to hold these two bars in place once it's installed in its right orientation, rightful place, just like that. There it is. Okay. And now we're gonna slide the spring. Make sure it's not bent, overly bent, severely bent, but it's just like the factory one. Well, it is the factory one. So we're just gonna slide it right underneath that bar, right there, right there. So it's underneath this bar right here. And we're gonna install the rod in this direction. It's gonna cut up on the top of that thing right there. There it is. Okay, and now let's not forget, before we put the fin, let's not forget the sliding bar or the sliding plate for this, just like that. Now we can go install the pin. Hold on, this thing kind of bind up a little bit. Oh, there you go. Now the pin is aligned. Let's take our 3/32 pin. Use it as lay pin. Make sure everything's all lined up like it is. And we'll put the pin. As you can see, one end of the pin is kind of tapered somewhat to help the whole thing ease of installation. Oh, something popped out of the way. There you go. And we'll use that end to install it, just like that. There's no resistance. There's no need to force it. You gotta force it. Look again, check again, recheck again before you whack the crap out of it, because you're not supposed to feel any too much resistance. So if there's resistance, maybe the holes just basically not aligned. That's what it is. So realign. The first bar is half of it is already gone through. So eventually there you go. Trying to fish that little that second plate hole. I think it's aligned now. There you go, just like that. So it's even on both sides ish. No big deal. There you go. Now that's the assembled part right there. You can see there's no pressure yet. We gotta reset those springs to the proper location to put pressure on these. These are supposed to be springing upward like that, like so, to help to keep retain the shell in place. So now we gotta reset these by lifting the retainers up and pushing the spring at the same time down until the spring is within those slotted space right there, like so. Now they're flush. Do the same thing on the other side. Like so. Now it's flush. Now it's sitting there. Now they should have pressure to spring them back up. There you go, just like that. And that's how you install the shell retainer claws, or if that's even the term, KSG's term. I'm just making these up as I go along, so bear with me here. That's that for that part right there. And oh, and this bar is supposed to move back and forth freely, by the way, just like that, because this has to be it has to be moving when you rack it. It has to have that give to it. Maybe we should oil it up. There's oil. Should help. There you go. Perfect. Now it's in place. Just like that. Okay, now that's done. Let's put that aside and get the other parts. Okay guys, in this section we're going to be installing the magazine springs. Right in front of you are the parts we're going to be needing. These are the OEM parts right here. OEM follower tube plastic, and the OEM takedown pins. Now these are the upgraded part. These are plastic, by the way. These are aluminum, half the size of the OEM original parts, and high visibility too, so easy to see. And these are the K&S takedown pins. They are actually pins, takedown pins, and sling mount, QD sling mount at the same time. So we have two of those. Let's put these OEM parts aside because we're not going to be needing them, and let's get to it. First we're gonna slightly lube our followers, because they're gonna be riding metal to metal, just like that. Like so. Oops. And the spring as well. These are metal. They're, as far as I know, they're made out of steel, so might as well lube them, prevent rust, and just shoving them there. Just like that. Now these are the ones supposed to be keeping these springs in place, cap the whole thing. And now we're going to compress it to bring it all in and be able to twist this cap in place. Ooh, a lot of pressure in that spring. Little tiny spring, I'm telling you. Okay. And these are very fine thread. Try not to cross thread while doing it. Just take your time, like so. Kind of smear the Loctite there for a while, and here we go. Just like that. There it is. Let's take the other one. Do the same. Just like that. Now those are not tight. We're gonna have to snug them up. And there is actually, matter of fact, special tools made just for those caps. And here it is, right here. Come on now. There it is. So basically this is gonna thread right into these caps where these caps usually sits, and we're gonna have to put this nuts with these two prongs facing that way, corresponded to these two grooves right here, like that, flush. And we're gonna screw this in place. Just like that, so it's not going to be moving back and forth. And with the help of the pliers, we're gonna snug it up so it's tight in place, just like that. That's enough. There you go. Do the same thing on the other one. There you go. Now we just gotta let that sit, cure for about 24 hours. That's the recommended time, curing time for from Loctite. So we're not gonna be using the gun anytime sooner than that anyway. So just let it sit there, dry out, and good to go. Okay, now we're going to be installing the barrel. The barrel, I just want to point out, I forgot to remind my Cerakote applicator not to Cerakote this part right here. I don't know if it's going to create some complication later on, because that's the locking lug right there, where your bolt's going to be sitting, locking in place once it's got it's put together, just like that. From what I can tell, it's not really impeding the locking mechanism, the locking lug right there. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, but we will see. But yeah, that's the way it's supposed to orientate once it's in loaded position, or in closed position, not necessarily loaded. But when it's loaded, these are dummy round. When it's loaded, that's exactly how it's going to be. And the extractor is going to fit right into that groove right there, just like so, and it's going to lock up like that. So as far as I can see, there's nothing to it. It looks like it's functioning just right, just the way it is. And then once it's fired, it drops, it'll back up, eject the spent case. So I hope it'll be okay. So okay, here it is. This is pre-assembled, by the way. I already put it in ahead of time because it's a pain in the butt putting these together. The extension and the castle nut look like a castle nut a locking system, and it's really easy. At the end, it was just that little special tools I had to get for this specific portion of the build, and after with the right proper tool, everything is easy, right? So, but anyway, I wish I put that on video, but yeah, I was kind of in a hurry, and I went ahead to reduce the procedure showing you guys. But anyway, yeah, let's get to it. You just simply slide it, and this orientation, just like that, oh, look at those followers. They're so bright. Oh, really pleased with those. Those are good upgrades. There you go. And now we're gonna put these. Oh, I gotta put the other part. Gotta take the other parts. Now we gotta put these. Gotta put this. Basically, it's the main brace to hold the whole entire magazine tubes and the barrel itself. They hold. It holds all three in that position, locking them up in place. Before that, we gotta install. Oh man, that's tight. Okay. Hey guys, sorry I had to cut the video on this portion. My GoPro ran out of battery, so I had to get another one, and a fully charged one. This time we're gonna be installing the actual brace that holds the magazine and the magazine tube and the barrel in place. Before that, we gotta install these retaining clip for these screws that goes on this plate right here. So first we have to pick one of the washer spring and one of this clip that actually would sit on that groove right there, preventing it from coming off, completely backing out. On this job, you're gonna need a special tool, one of these plier clip spreader. Now we're gonna put this in place and put our clip. Make sure it's sitting and it's in that groove, preventing it from coming out just like that. It's not gonna back out whatsoever, so it's in place right there. Now we got to do the other one. Got to insert it through there. Insert the clip. Push it all the way down before letting go the pliers. There you go, snap in place. Now both of them are locked up. Well, they still spin freely, but they just it retains them, so they won't back out. Now we just install them. This is the part where you gotta do one at a time. You gotta turn them one at a time. Let's see if I got a quarter. Maybe not. Oh, here it's a quarter. So we gotta turn them one at a time so they won't bind up, like so. Now the plate is actually, this whole brace plate thing is actually coming down very nicely in place. Already scratched it. Okay, there you go. And then snug it up with a plier. Just gently turn them, not even quarter turn, after the initial hand tight. Now they are firmly locked up in place. Now at this point we can put if I can find it, the locking ring muscle, or we can, in this case, we're gonna be putting my preferred muscle device. This is a choke system muscle device. It's actually, I believe it's oh, there it is, SMT Tactical. I'm assuming that's the manufacturer. This would thread just like your normal KSG muscle device, muscle brake kind of thing. So just hand tight it. That's good. Or if you prefer, we can also Loctite it. A blue Loctite would be ideal, but it's not going anywhere. Besides, I'm waiting for my I got another muscle device that would accept the Salvo 12, so I'm not gonna put this, not even semi-permanent for now. That's good the way it is. It's not gonna back out or anything. Now on the choke system, it actually came with these 3 called True Lock. Is a Remington 12 gauge SK1. Is a 725th of an inch, thousandths of an inch. This one here is 2/15 thousandths of an inch. This one here is 675. So this one's tight. 615, I believe this is improved, and this is like somewhat tight, but I forgot what's the term, but this is gonna be the tight for if you want to keep the pattern really tight for a long distance. This would be it right here, but I think I'm gonna use the improved. So it's actually got threaded back there, threaded inside surface bore. It locks up just like that, and it came with a tool, and I can't find it at the moment, but once it's there, it ain't going anywhere. Just like that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, that is that for this portion. I'll see you guys later. Now let's let's test these followers, make sure they're actually working. I got 10 or 8 of these at the moment. We're gonna put just like that. See, there you go. One, 2, oops, 2, 3, 3, come on, 4, so there it is. Actually, oh, so smooth. It's the oil on the Cerakote. Oh, so smooth. Now, if you manually remove the shell, unload the gun, all you got to do is pull this tab downward to extract what you have left in the, oops, one went in the shell or in the pipe. So there it is. Now for the other one, that's so cool. All right, there you go. It's working. They are working. So that's the orientation right there, as you can see. Now we're gonna assemble the buttstock housing. These are the clamshell polymer, the buttstock recoil pad, OEM, the lifter, and the hardware that comes with them. Screws, the tab for the lifter, and 2 bars to reinforce the polymer, basically. So first we're gonna insert this polymer lip into this rubber track to hold it in place, just like so. True, same true is it's true for the other side. It's basically the mirror copy of the both sides. So make sure it fits into it's seated properly in its place. I tend to bind up, not sit right away first time. So there it is. Now we're gonna put these stab. You can't get this wrong, really. Just orientate that little tab into this little indentation right here, or actually right is right, left is left. So you gotta find the right exact match. There it is. This is the one for this side. No, maybe not. They look the same. So there it is. It fits. Orientate it just like that. Make sure it's sitting flush. Sit flush. There you go. That's good. Now we're gonna put the lifter right in this orientation, right through that. It rides in those little those little axle, if you will. Before we put the clamp together, we gotta insert these pins. There you go. Hold the upper section together once they are fusioned, like that, and make sure the polymer rides into the rubber track. Hold it in place. There you go, just like that. And the lifter is moving freely. There you go. Well, am I gonna have to lube that? It's kind of, it feels a little gritty, but yeah, we'll lube it right after we tighten these screw right here. Put them in place like so, one at a time. and these are 2.3 millimeter screws. So we're gonna insert that, and they're all the same, by the way. They're all the same size, same length, same thread pitch, everything. Put a few of these to hold it in place. Then right now it's still trying to snap away. There you go. And one right here. Okay. There you go. Alright, now just finish the rest. And there you have it. And now we're going to install the trigger housing and trigger assembly itself. Here's the hammer spring, safety selector, trigger. The trigger, this is the OEM, we're not going to be using it. However, we're going to be using the same spring, the same sear bar, and trigger axle. And we're going to be using the adjustable all metal. It's a billet aluminum trigger, and it's adjustable both over travel and pull travel, something like that. I'll explain it to you guys along the way. Anyway, here's the safety selector detent. It's the bar for the trigger pivot bar that goes right there, and the housing themselves, and the action release button bar, the spring, return spring, and all the components that holds it together. And so before we start putting it together, let's transfer these parts into these adjustable. So we're just gonna remove the bar, remove the sear. There's the grass. This is the sear, the trigger return spring. This is the sear bar. Inside there's a little pin that prohibits the sear from traveling too far. There it is. That's one assembly right there. We're going to be using those. And this is the part we're not going to be using, the trigger, the plastic OEM trigger. And it's the crossbar spring hook that comes with it. We're not going to be using these, so we'll put these aside. And so we're going to transfer those into this. This is all aluminum. First we're going to insert the sear. Let's grease these part just for good measure. So I'm not going to be taking these off again, so grease them. Come on. Just like that. That's enough. Spread it thoroughly. It's gonna work itself once it's used. So there's a groove there where it actually sits, and then this is the sear we're gonna orientate it to where the spring supposed to sit, right there in that little square groove right there. Hope you can see that. And insert it in that manner, like that. And the axle, the trigger axle, is supposed to go through those holes right there. Now we're gonna insert the return spring, the trigger return spring, just like that. Now on the OEM part, the trigger has this crossbar right here that holds the spring, where the spring actually hook on both sides, like in that manner, like that. Since we're not going to be using that on the OEM has this one-sided bar right here. That's where the spring's going to be hooked. You'll see. So we're just going to align things up. Align the sear, the springs, and the trigger. Just like that. Not quiet, huh? Come on. There you go. So the actual trigger, or the actual spring is going to be pushing against that little tab right there, where it's going to be sitting like that, flush. Whoops. And putting an upward motion to the trigger for it to reset. There it is. However, on the other side, it's flat. There's nothing there. I guess they decided that one side is enough to, well, hold it. And the sear has to be freely moving freely, just like so. It's not bind up, and especially the spring, just like that. Perhaps a little bit more grease won't hurt. That's good. Now, what makes this adjustable are these two screws right here. This one goes through here. Oops. Goes through there. Come on now. And then this one is the over travel pull that prevents it from traveling too far. That's not the right. I didn't realize they're not the same. They're not the same size. Where's that? It's gonna have to be, no, this one. Yep. There it is. So basically this is gonna butt up, this screw's gonna butt up against the polymer, preventing it from moving to the rear too far. Basically you want to adjust that just to where the trigger breaks. And then this one, according to the instruction, as you can see, I tighten it up. It shows in that little window right there. There it is. That's that screw. And then the sear travel inside that housing right there. As you can see, according to the instruction, the sear shouldn't travel farther than that. However, it goes all the way down, as you can see. So to prevent it from traveling too far, we're gonna adjust the screw. Now we're gonna put a slight pressure to the spring, or to the sear, just far enough. You can see on the left side of the sear, the upper side of it, it should be flush to that window right there. So let's do just that. Let's tighten it up until it butts up against it, and the spring makes it harder to see, but I hope you can see that. Oops. There you go. So I'm tightening it. Now it's even. So now it's not going to travel too far. Just like that. So now the sear is basically sitting on that screw right there. Let's give that a try. Now let's install it. So that's the housing. This is the selector D10. I'm gonna show you how that works later. First, we're gonna put the trigger bar. Make sure the trigger bar or the trigger selector is facing the shooter to the rear, like so. Second, the hammer and hammer spring hammer assembly, like that. And now we're gonna put the hammer axle in the rear, like that. Make sure it can move freely, like so. It's not binding. There you go. And now we're gonna need this spring to the rear in the up position, so it's gonna be easier to install the rest. So we're gonna duct tape it, or it's not duct tape, but it's painter pin. We're gonna tape it to the rear, hold it in place. It makes the installation easier for the rest. So, and that should be enough to hold it temporarily. Now, make sure the bar is moving freely. It's not bind up against the bar, the sear bar. Now we're gonna put the trigger in that manner. Now we're gonna have to insert the trigger sear underneath that space right there. Right there. That groove right there. And the bar is gonna be sitting. It's gonna go inside that hole. Okay, let's do it this way. Like so. Come on, get in there. Get in there. I have to loosen the screw first. Give us some more slack. There you go. And should be able to it's not quite aligned. Got an idea. Pull it. There you go. Okay. Now the bar is sitting there, but I can't quite get the axle, the trigger axle pushed in. This is the struggle right here. The springs are really compressed at the moment. There you go. Now it's sitting where it's supposed to. That's the crossbar. You can see how it's supposed to. When it's unsafe, when you pull the trigger, it's not supposed to release the hammer or this linkage that connected to the hammer. And once you put it on fire, you'll see that room where it's supposed to lift up and give it some clearance to fire. So now we're gonna see if our setting. Oh, I just released it. Oh, stubborn me. Now we're gonna see if I can still adjust it from here. Yep, there you go. Up to that halfway turn. I'm about to drop things here. That drop turn right there. A little bit more. About right there. I think I'm comfortable with that. Oh yeah. No, I'll slack it a little bit. Okay. That looks good right about there. Oh no. The spring didn't quite seat behind the trigger. Yep, it came off. Son of a gun. We're gonna do that again. Let's try that again. Okay, once again, sear to sear. The spring is getting in the way. There you go. Just like that. This time, hopefully everything's gonna line up the way they're supposed to. Okay, there you go. Now they did. Okay, now they did. Spring is underneath the bar. Okay, so we're good there. Now we're gonna put as you can see, there is no return pressure for the trigger where it's supposed to go up there like that as the moment, because we need to install the detent for the safety selector, which that spring is supposed to go into that groove, that track right there. So let's start it. On this one, we should be able to use a pillet and just simply pry it. Pry it back to that spot right there, to the track, inside the track. Okay, now you can see that detent. It should act like a detent for the safety selector. So you got a positive lockup when you changing the safety to fire to safety, back and forth like that. And it also put pressure to the trigger. Well, yeah, there you go. It's coming back where it's supposed to, as it should. So now we're gonna be installing the action release bar, which goes here, and the spring sits right here. Oops. Just like this, and the bar, the pivot bar for it. Come on, just like that. That's gonna be the action right there that engages or lock and release the housing or the action. And now we're gonna put the housing clamps mirrored on one side. Just align every single debar, just like so. It's gonna take a little finagling, especially that one right there. It's not quite aligned. Okay, back on this thing. Sorry, my GoPro died, my battery. So where were we? Trying to align that little bar right there. Gonna have to push it into its place right there. Sorry, kind of hard to see. I know, bear with me here. Getting close. Getting close. There you go. That fell in place. Just snap the rest into place. This bar is somehow not aligned. A little bit more like that. Come on. There you go. Now the whole thing is starting to sit. Just like that. It's like snapping. There you go. Now we're gonna put these screws to hold them in place. On this trigger housing, there are 3 kinds of screws, one being a long one, medium, and the rest are short. The long one is gonna actually go into this thing right here, into this portion right here, crossing all the way. Oh no, that's the medium, crossing all the way here. That, just like that. And the nut into wrong size. Okay. It's good. Now we can remove the tape. You can actually align this bar. There you go. Now the whole thing is in its rightful position. Now let's try it. Safe. It's not supposed to fire before we put the whole thing together. Fire. Now fire. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now the reset. Let's see the reset. There you go. Okay. So it's functioning. Now we can put the rest one at a time. Let's start right here. Now this is the long one. This is the long screw. Just snug. Don't. Actually, let's put the rest, all of them, before we put the button. Just like that. Okay, the trigger assembly is complete. So now it's pretty good, pretty solid. Oh, now we're gonna put the button thing, the action release button. So that's just slides in there. Oh, wrong way. Just like so. There you go. And then slide this from one end to the other through that bar. And let's use this. Too tight. Too loose. Okay, that's just right. Like that. So it's flush on one side, but not on the other. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now let's see. Just like that. On this portion of the video, we're gonna be installing the safety, or not safety selector, but the tube selector, the feed tube selector. So I have here is the original OEM parts right here. It's kind of short, but nonetheless it works if you got a lot of time in your hand. So that's that. And we have this high-tech version. I forgot the company's name, but high-tech solution, something like that. So this improved. What I mean by improved, it works exactly the same up to this part right here, up to that part right there. The only improved function of it is it's longer, so it's extended. It's easier to flip. So that's the high-tech. This is the OEM, and we got a third contender. Here it is. It's called the FTSS feed tube switch selector by let me give you this calling card right here, by Solution Day Innovation LLC. You may visit them at www.shotgunswitch.com, or you may reach them at 774-377-9161. Mark Sheen was the gentleman who sold me this thing online. He's actually the founder of the KSG group on Facebook. So here it is. That's basically the whole idea of this thing is, instead of going straight down, up to this point they're all similar. However, you may see the far right, it actually bend curve, and then it just go completely horizontal. So the idea behind that is, once it's installed here, it's gonna be just like that, sitting just like that. So you can actually select it with your thumb, with your I believe the knuckle. I don't know yet. I haven't had, this is the first time I'm gonna be trying this. I got a big faith, a lot of faith on this thing. But hopefully it's gonna work as advertised, and we will see exactly how much ergonomic it's gonna increase on the use of this platform. So in the bag, it comes with this one part of it. This is one part. This I don't know what Mark called this thing, but it's actually made out of, it's heavy duty metal, or I think it's aluminum, but it's got weight to it. And then you got this one screw right here, the FTTS itself, one Allen tool key, and then another screw that actually goes here directly to your KSG, the gun. But the good thing about it is it's actually also comes with another one of these, a knob, I guess is what you call it. And also it comes with this sleeve that goes directly over a good 1/4 of the thread, almost half. What that does is it actually, this thing, the inside bore actually glides on that sleeve, relieving pressure off of the actual screw. So it's basically riding on that sleeve instead of riding directly on the screw itself, making it really smooth turn left or right. And the weight of this thing doesn't necessarily sits on the screw, so every time you turn it, it's not wearing off not wearing off the portion of the threaded part. It's because it's just gliding on this sleeve right here. Very smooth, very smooth. As you can see right there, it's quite flush on the FTTS mount right there. So here it is. We're gonna install it now. Oh, first of all, I believe you gotta install this first before you install the whole thing, because it's kind of hard to reach this tiny screw once it's there. So I'm gonna try this position right here. Some people like the all the way to the front. A lot of guys I've heard, they prefer the all the way to the rear. Give their knuckles a little bit more room, I guess, when they switch it this way. Or yeah. So let's get to it. First, we're gonna install this spring right here, this hole, and we're gonna put this detent in this orientation. This detent, what this detent does is it rides one of these cutout, giving it a solid lockup once you've selected either left, center, or right. So it's not gonna be wobbling. It's not gonna be swinging back and forth. It's actually, once you set it on that either left, center, or right, it's there. It's pretty much like a detent for your safety selector on your AR. So here we go. Just like that. I was not careful not to yeah, okay, that's better. Now let's put the screw and the sleeve and align it right there. Okay, it's under tension right now, so keep it in place. Try not to let it fly. Start it up. I'm not quite sure yet if I should put some Loctite to this. I don't know if I'm gonna like the position of this knob yet, so we're just gonna keep it. We're just gonna keep it hand tight and leave it at that. So there it is, right there. It's actually easy. It's so smooth, and it's not even oiled yet. Oh my lord. That is good. So center, it's blocking both side of the tube. Now you're gonna select right. It's gonna free the right shells. Select left, same thing. Oh, that's so good. Now it's got a little give to it, but according from the letter I got from Mark, Mr. Sheen said when the gun is not loaded, it's normal to have that little play, if you will. So, but once it's loaded, I guess the pressure is gonna push the feed tube switch selector, so it's gonna be somewhat solid, or be in one place, I guess. So these again are dummy rounds. No live rounds, guys. No live rounds and presence in the workplace. So we're gonna try these, one each tube. So okay, that's two, that's enough. So when you actually select the center, the middle, it's both blocking, indeed blocking the both shells. When you select left, well, there you go. Left shells are gone. Now you select the right. Now they're free. They'll be ready for whenever you pump the gun, the shotgun. So, oh, let me see that again about the play. Yeah, so it's got a very little movement, but a lot less than when it's empty. So yeah, according to Mr. Sheen, that's completely normal. So nothing to worry about that. I noticed on this one and on this one as well, I already tried this some 200 rounds prior to disassembling the gun and have submitted it for Cerakoted. These were both solid, no give whatsoever. Even when the gun empty tube, either or, nothing whatsoever. I mean, no movement, lateral movement at all. And this one, I actually, I don't mind that little move. I guess it's not really that of a big deal. But yeah, there it is. It's gonna be just like that. But the D10 is really positive. It's I'm telling you guys, they got this one right. I think that I'm gonna like this better than these. But only time will tell. And you know, a couple hundred rounds later, I'll be able to give you a good definition, a definite answer of this product. And I'll make another video of this, hopefully, an actual range and shooting the gun and utilizing this switch. So stay tuned. All right, catch you guys later. Bye. So in this portion, we're gonna be installing these polymer section, the racking slide. This would be the right side, would be the left side. These are really simple. This part is real simple. So here's the clamshell pump handle. This is the bar, the crossbar that would hold both end right here, or this one end right here. Man, I'm hungry. Well, first of all, let's disassemble these, and this is the buffer stop. Later on, we're gonna put that aside for now. So we're gonna ham just like that. Insert that tab in that, oh man, rocking bar right there, just like that. Now it's right in right there. It's connected. Now we connect. This one's supposed to be sitting like in this direction, by the way. You can only put this one way. You can't put it, you can't get it wrong, basically. So now let's install the other. And the purpose of this is basically, once it's riding on this pinch by these two clamshell, when you rack it, it's actually gonna butt up against this little hook right here. And when you pump it back to the back, towards the back, it's gonna butt up against this, releasing, making these both of these claws unlocking, so they would release the shell, except for the one your selector is actually blocking. And when you pump it back to the front, it actually locks up, preventing the action from being able to be racked again, unless you depress the action bar, or the action switch bar, or button, should I say. Now, where were we? Reinsert the tab in the action bar right there, just like that. Now we're gonna slide this thing, install it in this manner. Now it's locked there. Install these 4 screws. Now, if you're so inclined, you may also put, prior to installing, of course, you may also put a dab of Loctite medium strength to prevent them from backing out. But from factory, I didn't see any Loctite, the dry kind, you know, on those screws. So I'm just gonna let them be. We're gonna screw this portion. There's 6 of these, the shorty ones, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. I'll do it. Oh yeah. Now we gotta put the buffer. This little thing, it's actually plastic. Plastic. I don't think it's a polymer plastic. But anyway, this is gonna ride on the magazine tubes, and this little lip right here is gonna be sitting right on this locking plate, and it's gonna be screwed from the front. I guess this is it. Lock it in place. Until it butts up against the plate. There you go. Give it 1/4 turn. That's good. So that's actually where this polymer section handle is gonna butt up against when you slam it back towards the front, just like that. There you go. So that's the KSG in a nutshell. And here's what I was talking about earlier. See, when it slides up back there, it would release these claws, and when it slams back forward to the front, it's gonna re-lock them, if you will. I'll give you an example of that. But right now we don't have the selectors, so they're both gonna be flying both magazine tube. So there they are. They're being held by the claws. Remember, we can manually remove them by pulling the claw down, the serrated section of it. But oh, there you go. I just did it right there. When this plate butt up against this bar, it actually forces these two to kind of dive in, and does releasing the shell, so it'll be ready to feed the next round, like this. There you go. The boat come flying. So that's that. And lock them up, re-lock them once you slam it back to the front, like that. So that is that. Now let's install the top cover that goes here. There. That's easy enough. Now let's install the bar. What we got here is the OEM KEL-TEC. It's still got the T slot marked on it, and this is the high-tech one, the high-tech innovation, something like that. You can see the first difference is the length. This one is almost 3 inches. This is just shy of 3 inches longer than the factory, so it's going to be sitting far back, giving you more room for real estate for your whatever, whether that be iron sights, red dot, the saddle for the shell, I don't know, laser, coffee grinder, microwave. It's, you got the room right there. So while this is longer, they actually made a lightning cut, making it actually lighter than the factory. The factory is heavier. It's significantly heavier. I don't know the weight at the moment, but it feels heavy. So let's install this just like that. So here it's supposed to go. See, from the factory, these screws actually comes with a dried out Loctite. Maybe later on I would put some more fresh couple drops. But for now, just to show you guys what they look like installed. Right at the size. I don't know if that's a metric or whatnot, but yeah, there you go. Look at that. So much cooler than the factory, I suppose. But that digress. Let's move on to the lower. Now the lower, I've heard a lot of nightmare story about this lower. I've heard some guys, had this thing broke up on them. So during heavy use, I guess, or overtime wear and tear, because this is just plastic. Let's face it. It's not meant for heavy duty use, especially for long-term heavy-duty use. So I got this from KEL-TEC as well, KEL-TEC Innovation. Just an extended rail that's actually made just for this, that slides like that. But as you can see, it's not going anywhere left or right, but it could slide forward and back. So what comes with this hardware is these little bars and screws that would actually sit inside the rail underneath it, and you set it between the mine doesn't even quite fit. I don't know if they're gonna fit. Oh, there you go. Okay, one of these grooves. I'm gonna have to manage to squeeze them there. So, but first, let's make sure we orientate them in the right position. So it's gonna be like that. It cannot go any further than that. If you go any farther than that, it's gonna butt up against the action right there, or the receiver right there. So that, I would say, is the most ideal position spot. So we're gonna be putting one of these line right here. One of these. Oh, there you go. One of these T-slot what makes it tight is the Cerakote. The Cerakote actually, and this is rigid. I don't even think I need this, but just for good measure, it could still break on me. You'll never know, right? So that's that. Now we're gonna slide the rail on the rail on the rail, just like that. And now we're gonna insert these one at a time. Just gonna snag them up. Later on I'm gonna put some adaptable Loctite, back them up one at a time, and go on from there. But for now, let's take a look at that. That's actually, oh man, that's awesome. That right there. On this, I decided to put some okay, now let's install our front vertical grip. This is a Magpul I saw online. Cost me about 15 bucks for this. It's MOE. I believe it's a Magpul, not so sure. RVG vertical grip. I don't know what's the R stands for, but anyway, it's got this cool no lobby and the Second Amendment right on that, on the right side. It can be used either side, and that's the snap shell. So basically hook this side right there. I would put it just about right there, because there's something else I'm gonna put right here, and well, I would say put it on this side. I like that, because I'm a righty, so that skull is actually gonna be exposed. There you go. Oh man, look at that. And we're gonna put extension right there. Oh, I actually like that. That's really nice. Cool touch. Gives you like a reference for your finger. Index finger. Oh, that's nice. Now we're gonna put the iron sights. I decided to go with these because I got that cool KSG-12 and very solid. I've been trying to move this, but it's really stuck there. Looks like I'm gonna have to move that pin. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I think it's center. I mean, there's no real way to move that, adjust that once that pin is in, but yeah, I just wish they were blacked, somewhat clean, bare color, bare metal, and it gives you that ghost ring effect. Really good, really nice setup. So let's put this right here in the front, maybe the front. Yeah, the first. Gonna have to put Loctite on that. They're not quiet in place. Okay, that's the spot right there. Oh, this is so good. Good. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So that's that. Okay, now let's put this thing together. First, we gotta set the action all the way to the rear. It's like so. Have the bolt carrier sitting on top of this plate right here. It's like so. Or in this case, on the bottom of it. Put the buttstock. Oops. Lift the whole assembly, push it in. Now it's locked in place. There you go. This whole thing, this whole Cerakote thing made the whole gun really tight. I mean, the mounting point. There you go. It's flush. Now we'll insert the trigger assembly / grip. Just like that. Or here. Push hard. This thing needs to be shot where things are. Now we're gonna be using the upgraded takedown pins. Fucking find them. Found one. Oh, where's the other one? There's the other one. So, in order to remove it, you gotta push on this side to retract these ball bearings in order to get it off. Get it off. There you go. Now, let's see. I'm a right-handed, so this link's gonna be on on the left side. Drive it all the way. As you can see, the OEM on the right and the KNS upgraded pins on the left. They're a little bit longer, but that's to accommodate the extra, and it's probably 1/4 of an inch longer, and not even that, for this quick detach mount. So once it's in place, it's actually solid. I mean, you cannot inadvertently push these and disconnect it. It's gonna take a lot of force to for this pin to be pushed, and in order to remove it or disconnect it, you got to push it all the way, really all the way. Just halfway, it's not even budging, right? Like what I'm doing right now. However, the pin itself, the QD pin, it's not really, it spins all 360. It's not really well, you know, 1/4 or half turn, nothing like that. It stopped. It's not a big deal, but it is what it is. Okay, let's put it here. Drive it all the way down. There you go. Now, while pushing that button, we're gonna insert this. You can only put it one way. Insert it like that. Same thing here. Push the button. Insert it like that. You cannot insert it like this because it's not gonna hold. So really, there's only one way to put it. Now, once they're in place, this thing is solid. I mean, no wiggle whatsoever. Mainly on the buttstock and the grip. So here it is. My lord. That is something. That is something. Now let's reinstall the Mark's product, the Solution Innovation Day product. Sorry, Mark, I'm butchering your company's name. Solutions Day Innovation LLC, or FTSS for short. And I'll get back to you guys in a moment. GoPro, turn off. Okay, so we're back to the KSG. So here's another upgrade we're gonna be putting on this Kydex buttstock cheek rest kind of thing. Now, the easiest way I found to put this on is basically to start from the rear, and it's quite tight because it's been Cerakoted as well along the other stuff, and just kind of basically force it in, I guess. Well, first remove the pin out of the way. There you go. Now we're gonna push this in place. Just kind of stretch it all the way. Oops. Till it slides in. Yeah, it's really there. There you go. Let's put it flush on both ends. Reinstall the pin. So push the button and we're good to go. And that's not going anywhere. A really tight fit, so it's really good. Gives you that very flat additional angle, if you will, on the cheek rest. So it's real nice. So there's the gun. Oh, one more thing. This thing, I use these compartment for all my rifles. All of my rifles have these hollowed grip, just like this one, but those one have actually hinge door, trap door. So this one I found on eBay was $5, 7 shipped. You just basically plug it in. It'll come handy once I get the salvo compartment for the NFA stamp copy. Keep it dry, water free. It's actually water sealed, watertight sealed right there, that O-ring. so it's not gonna get wet. So long as you don't actually submerge it. And also this limb saver happened to be kind of small for my taste. It's barely fit in there. I mean, it's kind of tight. I suppose that's as far as it will go. Yeah, that's as far as it would go. Unless we can slide the cheek rest maybe a little forward. We can. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's alright. I mean, that's as far as it can go, really. I'd call it good right there. Yeah, that's about it. So that's about it right there. And I'd probably upgrade it to the large one. I believe this is the medium, or perhaps even small. So, but it's actually flush there. I kind of like that. It's nice. And the cushion on this thing is actually exceptional. It's way better than the stock, that's for sure. Very, very rubbery, sticky feeling to it. I wonder if this is going to be slippery once it gets wet. You know, sweat, water, rain, what have you. But this this rear portion is actually really, really soft. Really, really soft. I wonder if that's the farthest it can go. But yeah, it's not gonna go any farther. That's good. I'd call that good for now, I think. Anyway, yeah. Here's the complete KSG. Right there. Can't wait to take it to the range. Shoot it. There it is. Actually give you a quick demo. Again, dummy rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch it. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. There you go. Very, very nice. Now, boat lock position. Right tube open. Left tube open. No tube open. They're both blocked. I actually ended up replacing this knob to the little one. It's more comfortable for my knuckle. And one negative side of this is actually once it's installed, you cannot take down the trigger mechanism or the trigger housing, the grip, this whole portion right here. So you'll have to remove this in order to take this off the gun. You can remove the buttstock, but that's about it.